Okay guys, this is the second tape I'm doing on this video because the last one I did, which I was very happy with, ended up not getting saved because my computer ran out of the room. So I just cleared up some space and I hope this doesn't happen again. For this video, I want to talk to you guys about confidence because I had recently got myself in a situation that I knew could get violent very quickly. And looking back on it, I'm very proud of the way I handled it and I'm very happy with the outcome. And it was only, let's say, 3-4 years ago that I think the outcome and the way I handled this stuff would have been completely different. And I know it has a lot to do with where I am mental-wise and confidence-wise. I know that's the major contributing factor of the outcome here, and I'm hoping that this video I share can help people get this, in my opinion, desired outcome from what could potentially be violent or bad situations. So as I'm saying this, I want to preface this video by stating I think it's more, in fact, I'm almost certain it's more applicable to male culture. Not male biology, male culture, and that's an important distinction, but we're not going to elaborate on that right now. And the reason I say this is when I like to talk about these video ideas with people, and when I was talking about it to my girlfriend and my mom, actually, they both didn't get it, right? Like, to them, it didn't seem like a real thing. So, I totally get why it might not seem applicable for women or girls out there, but for men, we have to accept the fact that at least male culture in our society, violence is championed, and it's often how do I say it? It's often used, frankly, from bullying in school all the way to adults fighting over parking spots. Things that violence will always be a part of male culture here, at least in Canada, North America, I would assume most of Europe, honestly probably most of the world. And this video isn't to discuss if it's for better or for worse. I want to say, like, I hate unsanctioned violence. I absolutely hate it. But part of life is accepting the things we hate, right? So I want to create this video and show you guys how I dealt with the situation that very easily could have turned out violently, and how it ended up working out really well for me, and what went different, why only a few years ago the outcome would have been so different. So just to give you guys a little bit of background on what my situation was, is I found myself, I think it was about maybe a month or two ago, I had heard through a third party, first of all, that someone was saying some really nasty things about me. Some things that really touched me deep, and I'm not going to say specifics here or name any names or anything like that, but these were very hurtful things, and I knew that if I didn't do something, say something, or confront the situation, it would only make me feel worse. I would only feel like more of a coward, or just less confident with who I am and my identity. So what ended up happening was I actually tapped the guy on the shoulder in person, said, "Yo, we have to go talk one-on-one right now." Took him aside, confronted him directly about all these accusations, with completely honestly were total bullshit, right? Absolute bullcrap, and he knew it. And I showed him that I wasn't scared to talk to him. This is a guy that everyone was telling me, "Oh, he's really quick to get into fist fights and blah blah blah. You got to be really careful." And I was in a very fortunate position in my life where I understand violence is a possible outcome in a lot of these kind of situations, but I wasn't scared, and this isn't to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm hoping this video will help anyone who feels scared of these potential outcomes. I want to show you guys a little bit of a strategy or techniques that I've used to help overcome them. So, like I said, I ended up confronting the guy, called him out on all his BS. Not only did he apologize to me, I called him out on his crap and made him feel like shit. It was really funny afterwards, seeing just how awkward he got. And yeah, I was really happy with how it turned out. So, again, this comes down to, maybe it is our primal nature, maybe it is just male culture, but fighting in male culture is just, it's everywhere. From the day we enter school, from bullies all the way to, like I said, adults fighting over parking spots when we're older. So if you're like how I was, let's say like 5 years ago, and I was 118 pounds coming out of high school, and I had zero confidence in anything physical, obviously, right? So often I would get these same kind of bullying things where people would say stuff that, quite frankly, either weren't real or were unfair. But what was I going to do about it? That's what it came down to. It didn't matter if I was logically correct or what they were saying was bullshit, because what am I going to say to someone who can just shove me aside, right? And that's quite frank. Like, I know the women out there are going like, what are you talking about? People are going to listen. Unfortunately, in my experience, violence can reign supreme, and that's a reality we can't forget. So my advice to people who feel like I did just a couple years ago, you need to embrace the fight or flight response in your body. And so I don't want people to think I'm championing the fact that you should be confronting people and going one-on-one fist fights or blah, blah, blah. None of that, right? Fight is one part of it. And to get yourself ready for that fight or flight confrontation, specifically the fight part, you need to understand the basics of self-defense or even offense, right? So for me, what that meant was I signed up for a boxing gym and I trained my ass off 5 days a week, every week for a year and a half, right? And the skills I learned there, I have them with me to this day, and I'll never forget them because they were life-changing. I'll never forget the day I walked on a bus and I just felt like a different man. I had a black eye. It sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous, but I felt so different because my own experiences in my life before that, I had never had that kind of status or that physical prowess before, right? At this point in my life, I get that same kind of confidence from the knowledge of the past, but also for me, it's lifting weights. That's what makes me feel really good. It feels great knowing I can pick up 300 pounds off the ground. That's a strong feeling, and it gives me the confidence to confront people like the guy I just did, and have to hold my ground. I'm confident that if it came to it, maybe I won't win, maybe I'll lose really badly, but at least I have the confidence to call someone out when they're attacking my credibility, my personhood, and it's going to have a big effect on me later. I need to know, and I think every man needs to know that they can stand up for themselves if they want to feel confident. You will always feel unconfident. I guarantee you this. If you lack the physical capability to either fight, which we talked about before, or flight. So what I mean by flight, I mean there is nothing wrong with knowing that you're the fastest guy, the guy who won't run out of any breath, and you can outrun that fat asshole or that big jerk who's trying to attack you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is power in speed and there's power in stamina. So I would suggest if you're a kind of person who maybe you absolutely hate violence completely, or you want no part in punching someone in the face or taking them down or something, start running. Start getting yourself in good shape. And you'll see a lot of this confidence comes down to ultimately just being a healthy person and understanding the capabilities a healthy person has, which is the capability to fight for themselves and to run for themselves. And again, there's nothing wrong with either of those. So yeah, I can understand if a woman watching this doesn't understand what I'm saying here, but I think a lot of men totally don't understand where I'm coming from, where we live, again, in the unfortunate situation where violence is championed in our culture. And you have two choices. You can take what people think are the mental high road and be like, I'm above violence. I'll walk away when someone's doing this, and that. And in my experience, although you may have the right, it may sound mathematically correct to think that way, avoiding violence is good and stuff, you're going to feel like shit. I can guarantee you're going to feel like absolute shit. You're going to feel like a coward. You're going to, and maybe I'm wrong, and that's good for you if you do like the way you think and act when you're thinking like that. But in my experience, it just made me feel weak, and I think weakness, it has a big toll on your self-confidence. It's okay to be weak in certain things, but if you can't stand up for things that you absolutely know are unfair or right, it's going to hurt you as a person. So again, if I could summarize this video, men out there who are feeling the way I did not long ago, please do yourself a favor and get yourself into shape. Possibly learn some skills that are either going to let you fight or flight, and I absolutely guarantee you, you're going to feel like a new person when you find yourself in these situations, because you're going to know, and the people you're confronting are going to know, that you have the confidence to know that you're capable of standing up for yourself, and that is a huge deterrent for bullies around the world. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions, or email me. Same as always, contact@thekspot. I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.